guys, what's up? So I just kind of wanted to do a little life update because I know that for the first few days of this project I was super on top of it, and now I'm just kind of realizing that I cannot hold myself to a timeline, to do one video a day. I am working two jobs, finishing school, literally can't find any time to record. I'm at work right now. Don't worry, I'm not interrupting anything. I'm not doing anything important. Life has been crazy. I just haven't had any time, and I'm really sorry because people have been messaging me oh hey, when are you gonna upload for your next video, when I have time for it, because I didn't realize how much goes into editing YouTube videos and stuff like that. It is hard work, and I'm super thankful that Noah lets me use his laptop because mine is a piece of crap, and it will not let me upload videos. It won't let me make videos, export them, anything like that. So then I have to be over at his house, and we don't want to spend all our time together editing videos, but I'm figuring it out, and I am not going to be holding myself to a timeline. So I'm not saying it is going to be 30 videos, but not in 30 days. Going into what day 5's video is my anxiety attacks. I got creative with the title, called it The Anatomy of an Anxiety Attack, just because I feel some people really don't understand what it is, especially if you don't have them. It's kind of hard to comprehend because it is very weird the way that they happen, for different people. And so this is totally a personal thing for me. They're really different for everyone. But my anxiety attacks, they're bad. They last quite a while, and I cannot take myself out of an anxiety attack. It is very difficult to take myself out of one. Up until really 3 months ago, I hadn't had an anxiety attack in front of anyone. It's not to say that I can control my anxiety, but I never let anyone watch me break down like that until Noah. And I remember the first time that I had an anxiety attack in front of him, I just constantly apologized. I was like, I'm so sorry that you had to see that, because it's not fun to watch. It's not fun to go through. It's draining to watch someone go through that, and it's draining to have an anxiety attack. And so usually what happens is, if I'm already upset about something, crying, anything like that, I'll start crying. It's hard to explain what it sounds like, but basically my crying will turn into hyperventilating, and I'll shake and I can't talk, and I just cry and hyperventilate. Like I said, just shaking. No words will come out of my mouth. If you ask me what's wrong, I can't tell you until it's over. And even then, I don't really want to talk about it, just because sometimes I feel I have anxiety attacks over things that, if someone else were to see it, I'd tell them why, and they'd be like, oh, well, why? That's not a big deal. Why would you have an anxiety attack over that? And I totally get that. I mean, I have been told pretty much my entire life that I overreact, all this stuff, which is really crappy, but it's the way that people see me, and I guess I kind of do. There's those, my bad ones, the big ones, and the way that I get out of those is usually, when I'm with Noah, and he can hold me and tell me that everything's going to be okay, and that what I'm feeling is temporary, because in that moment of anxiety, you just feel overwhelmed by all these irrational fears, but you don't think they're irrational. You can't talk yourself into thinking they're rational because they seem so rational at the time, and it's horrible, and I wish that my brain didn't work that way, but it does. And I do have some other symptoms of anxiety that aren't super full-on panic attacks. Sometimes I can kind of convince myself I'm dying, because my anxiety will present itself in ways that, like, my heart will beat really fast and it's hard to breathe and I'll feel really lightheaded, and then it goes from being anxious about something else to being anxious that I'm dying. And my heart beat will be like ridiculously fast. I remember one time I went to the hospital and my heart rate was like 260 something, and like, for those of you who don't know, that's a really high heart rate. Resting normal is like 70, 80. So yeah, it presents itself in those ways, and sometimes it presents itself in panic attacks, and other times it's not being able to go out in public, not being able to be around a lot of people. I felt really bad because it was my sister's birthday dinner. She's turning 16, and we had all our family over, and it was just too much for me. It was one of those days where everything was just way too much. Like, there were so many people, there was just so many conversations going on that, like, my brain, it was just like overloaded, and I hadn't gotten a lot of sleep. I just like spent $400 on my car. It just was not good. And I had an MRI done on my back, resonance imaging machines, and what they do is they make these really loud noises in order to, okay, I really don't know how it works, so I'm just gonna say like what it was. Like, it makes this really loud noise. You like go into it, and I told her, I was like, I am claustrophobic, and I kind of have like really bad anxiety. Is there any way that like my head is not gonna be like in there? And she said that since it was in my back, like, I pretty much had to be all the way in there. So I just dealt with it, and so basically it makes these really loud, like, beating noises, and then some of the noises sound like just like these beeps or like fire alarms, and it was very scary to me because, like, these noises, they all sound like certain things that like trigger different reactions from people. So like, I would keep flinching when they would start, and she was like, sweetheart, like, you have to like lay still, like, we can't get images if you're like moving. I like just dealt with it. Like, I didn't let my anxiety get too bad, but afterwards I was like, I'm sorry, like, I just have really bad anxiety, and I'm claustrophobic apparently. Like, I kind of thought it because I have gotten MRIs in the past, but it was a long time ago, and I just like felt like really closed in, and sometimes when I'm in an elevator I feel kind of claustrophobic, but like, I didn't think it was bad. That is kind of my story about how my anxiety presents itself. There are lots of other things, and everyone honestly encounters anxiety attacks differently. This is just kind of how I deal with them, how like what happens to me. And so thank you guys so much for being patient on this journey with me and following my journey, and watching my videos, subscribing, liking them, commenting, all that stuff. It is super helpful to me to feel like people enjoy watching these videos and they want to watch these videos. And so yeah, I will have my next video up as soon as possible, but until then, you guys, I wish all of you who are in school great luck with finals. It is almost over. It is almost summertime, and I just want to thank you guys so much for your support. And if you guys ever have any questions, I am just DM away. So thank you guys for letting me be vulnerable with you today about my anxiety attacks, and I'll see you guys soon.